Coming up on CitrusTV News, reporter Nick Papantonis is here with us to discuss the campus master plan. We'll look at all of the implications.
The jury has reached a verdict on the Aaron Hernandez trial.
It's been nearly 2 years since the Boston bombing attacks.
It's going to be scenes from a Long Island hospital for Billy Joel and his girlfriend. All that and more, CitrusTV starts right now. CitrusTV News live at 6 for Wednesday, April 15th. I'm Allie Bauman.
And I'm Will Gerhard. We're in the middle of the Student Association elections, and CitrusTV News has been closely following the campaigns for you. We have all the latest, and that's our top story tonight.
This week, SU students are electing the next president of Student Association. Aisha Sidat is the only candidate on the ballot, but there are 4 write-in candidates actively campaigning. A crucial mark was reached by voters yesterday. 14% of the student body had cast votes by Tuesday afternoon, surpassing the 10% required for the election to be recognized by the Student Association.
CitrusTV invited the candidates to an open debate on SA Today last night. Sidat's running mate Jane Hong and write-in candidate Tatiana Cadet discussed issues ranging from transportation to sexual assault on campus and integration for international and transfer students. Here's a look at some of the discussion.
Our campaign rests on the 2 pillars of support and safety, with a focus on producing positive, tangible changes regarding issues like transportation, sexual assault resources and prevention, and better integration for transfer and international students.
I stand behind strengthening community, improving security and student association, and addressing student issues. Likewise, I want to be a representation of you.
Students will have until 11:59 p.m. on Thursday night to cast their vote on MySlice. Also on the ballot are issues concerning the New York Public Interest Research Group, NYPIRG, which has a referendum on the ballot to determine if it still has the support of the student body.
A yes vote will continue, including a $3 addition to the student activity fee that goes towards funding SU's chapter of NYPIRG.
Now it's time to get our first look at today's weather with CitrusTV weather anchor Monica Hemmer.
It is currently 58 degrees outside with mostly clear skies. Winds are at around 12 miles per hour, so there's a little bit of a cold breeze, but the sun has been shining all day. If we look at the quad cam, people have been hanging out there all day on that green grass. And while it's a little colder than it was yesterday, it's still nice out, and we should see more of that nice weather tomorrow. I'll have the full weather forecast later in the show, so stick around and find out when we will be getting some rain later in the week.
Syracuse University's academic strategic plan is now undergoing the final phase of its completion.
CitrusTV reporter Nick Papantonis is live in studio with more about the plan and says there might be something to worry about. Nick?
The academic strategic plan just closed its 2nd open comment period of the semester, and the university will now go ahead with making more specific recommendations. But they might have a slight problem in the meantime, as very few students know what the plan actually is.
The academic strategic plan sounds like a plan that is centered around academics to strategically help students.
I would say it would be to help students, adapt to academic life, but I'm not really sure.
Not quite. The academic strategic plan is about academics, but it's focused on identifying the strengths and building on the weaknesses of SU. One of the students that does know a lot about this is Patrick Neary, who sits on the plan's steering committee.
When a good strategic plan is not just keep doing everything we've been doing, and a big part of it is going to have to be, where do we want Syracuse University to really excel at? Like what existing strengths can we improve? And there's going to be a lot of hard decisions to make in the upcoming years about saying, we're not good at everything. We're not going to be able to be good at everything. So where do we focus our resources?
Despite students' lack of awareness, Neary says the committee has tried to get them involved as much as possible.
I've had some students broadly tell me that they would have liked more student involvement. They felt like it wasn't transparent enough. For my position sitting on these groups, there was a lot of attention paid to getting a lot of open comments and things like that.
Students' comments will be looked at, and the committee will spend the next few months writing a final draft of the plan. They are expected to be finished with the process in May, after which the plan will be reviewed and updated as the university sees fit. Both NERI and SA President Boris Gressler will be stepping down from their positions at the end of the semester. NERI says he is confident in the transition process and that university officials won't take long to get his successor up to speed.
Okay, so Nick, when do you think we're going to start seeing the specifics of the plan?
Well, according to NERI, the academic strategic plan isn't about the how, it's about what are our goals and what are they going to be looking like. It's not so much how are we going to get to that point.
Okay.
Well, thanks a lot, Nick.
Thank you. The 2014 Miss America winner visited Syracuse University Tuesday night. Fayetteville native Nina Duvallari is the keynote speaker for SU's Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month celebration. In 2014, Duvallari became the first Indian American to win the Miss America pageant. She spoke about discrimination and diversity issues for about 15 minutes before answering questions for more than an hour. SU is celebrating AAPI Heritage Month this April, and events continue tomorrow. Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Alex Taizan is talking about his book, Big Little Man, In Search of My Asian Self.
Coming up next on Citrus TV News, an intruder at the U.S. Capitol today.
And how much time former New England Patriots player Aaron Hernandez will serve for murder. That and more after the break.
Preventing wildfires. That's all Smokey wants for his 70th birthday.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple, just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Just 2 years ago, the then New England Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez was an AFC champion, ranked in the NFL top 100 players in the league. Today, Hernandez was found guilty of first-degree murder in the 2013 shooting death of Odin Lloyd. Lloyd was dating the sister of Hernandez's fiancé, was found shot 6 times in an industrial park less than a mile from Hernandez's home in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. Hernandez was sentenced to life in prison without parole. In a developing story, an unidentified pilot is currently in custody after landing a small manned aircraft at the U.S. Capitol building today. The Capitol Police are questioning him to see the motivation behind the landing. According to the FAA, this is restricted airspace and no one can fly over the area without special permission. The individual did not have permission, but the building is no longer on lockdown.
Today marks the second anniversary of the Boston bombing marathon. Today, a ceremony was held at the site where 3 people were killed, and at 2:59 p.m., Boston held a moment of silence to mark the time the first bomb went off. This anniversary comes in a break of the trial of Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. Last week, he was convicted on 30 counts related to the attack. Now, the same jury will decide whether Tsarnaev will serve life in prison or the death penalty. The jurors for the trial were asked to not participate in any of today's events. And after more than 20 years, the U.S. is removing Cuba from the list of state sponsors of terrorism. President Obama submitted necessary documents to Congress after meeting with Cuban President Raul Castro in Panama, a huge move since the announcement to restore full relations with Cuba last December. Cuba had to assure it would not support international terrorism acts in the future, and Obama had to give his report 45 days before removing them from the list, but Congress does not have to approve the decision.
Reports are coming in that ISIS has surrounded a key Iraqi city. Earlier today, Iraqi officials desperately called for aid and warned the city is hours from falling to ISIS. Ramadi is the capital of Anbar province in Iraq and is about 70 miles west of Baghdad. ISIS has been pressing on Ramadi for nearly a year, and Iraqi government forces are still fighting them off. The Iraqi fighters are asking for reinforcements to help hold off the push from ISIS.
Italy has been busy lately rescuing migrants from Africa and the Middle East who are trying to make it to Europe. More than 8,000 migrants were picked up by the Italian Coast Guard, and more than 20 SOS calls were made on Monday alone. More than 10,000 migrants have been rescued in the first 3 months this year, and around 2,000 in the first weekend of this month. And just Monday, White House spokesperson Josh Earnest said that President Obama would veto the current version of the Iran nuclear bill if passed through the Senate. Today, however, the White House is saying that the bill is in fact the kind of compromise that President Obama would be willing to sign. Either way, the bill still has a few committees to pass through before it gets to the president's desk. But if it is passed, it would give Congress the right to vote on removing or imposing congressionally mandated sanctions on Iran.
Well, I don't want to jinx this beautiful weather, but let's take a look at the temperatures for the rest of the week with Monica Hammer.
Right now it is 58 degrees outside under mostly clear skies. The sun has been shining for most of the day with winds at 12 miles per hour. If we look at temperatures across the Northeast, we're seeing a lot of yellow in the area, which means that temperatures are in the 60s and high 50s. Taking a look at the surface map, there isn't too much going on at the moment. Some rain showers are scattered here in the south, and a little bit of a cold front is heading in along the coast. Tonight, temperatures will drop down to around 35 degrees, with wind speeds also dropping down to around 7 miles per hour. Skies should remain pretty clear with a couple of passing clouds, but no rain until later this week. Tomorrow, temperatures are going to hit the 70s with a low of 50. Skies will be partly cloudy, and things will be much like they were today. If we look at that precipitation forecast, though, for the next 48 hours, we are expecting less than an inch of rain, but that isn't going to come until Friday. Taking a look at the traffic map for commuters as they're heading home after work, most of the main roads and the highway are pretty clear. We do see some red areas on these smaller roads, which means just to make sure to anticipate that when you're heading home. Looking at the 5-day forecast, most of the week we're looking at temperatures in the low 60s with partly cloudy skies, but we are looking at some rain on Friday and then again on Monday. Friday there's a 60% chance of precipitation, and we are looking at less than an inch of rain, and then Monday temperatures will drop into the 50s along with a 70% chance of rain.
All right, so we're starting to see the jackets coming off on the walks to class, but when are we going to see the tank tops and flip-flops?
Not quite yet. We're seeing a little bit of a drop at the start of next week, so not quite shorts yet, but no more winter jackets at all.
And for the foreseeable future, obviously maybe a little rain on Friday, but it looks like we'll be relatively clear for the time being after that.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be having a nice weekend. No rain over the weekend, just Friday and then Monday, but hopefully those are just some light showers and nothing too heavy.
That's great.
And anything expected on the roads this weekend, heavy travels, like are they they're gonna be packed on the highways?
I don't think so. There's not too much travel right now. We're in spring, no spring breaks at the moment, so things should be pretty clear on the highway.
Thank you, Monica. When CitrusTV News returns, which painkillers could be killing joy?
And the Piano Man is expecting a new audience. We'll be right back.
Hey, my name's Katie and I'm in the 9th grade. I'm an A average student and I'm an athlete working towards a scholarship. And everybody tells me how much potential I have. But I just wish someone would tell me where my next meal is coming from. Katie, how'd I do?
Do you have to be so serious?
Well, I mean, I did like a crazy dance in a movie if you want me to do a little, no.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point. There's smoky.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Health apps are becoming more and more popular. They claim they can track calories, steps, and even the heart rate for users. But according to a new report in the British Medical Journal, people that are already healthy don't get any benefit from these apps.
The report also questions whether these apps cause more harm than good by creating unnecessary anxiety in users. Researchers say many of these apps lack evidence that they do benefit health. These apps are so new, doctors have trouble proving they provide any benefits at all.
And well, after this next story, you may want to take a look at some of the labels in your medicine cabinet. Tylenol, Midol, and more than 600 other medications that contain acetaminophen have been proven to reduce levels of joy.
This, according to a study published in Psychological Science, which confirms that those medications that reduce pain bring down pleasure too. According to Consumer Healthcare Products Association, each week about 23% of Americans, or 52 million people, use a medicine containing acetaminophen. Well, many Americans can't live without the convenience of having a credit card. Yet a new study from creditcards.com shows that 36% of Americans between the ages of 18 and 29 have never even had a credit card. The study concluded that because millennials are in a generation bogged down by student loans, an overchanging job market, and limitations on whether and how they can obtain a credit card, they are more likely to use debit or prepaid cards instead.
Well, it's tax day, and if you're looking to celebrate finishing your taxes, TaxDayFreebies.com has some opportunities just for you. How about $6 off of a dinner for two at Olive Garden until April 19th? Or a buy one, get one free deal with a Whopper from Burger King. For those in the SU Hill who may not have the means to take advantage of some of these deals across Central New York, Brugger's Bagels is offering a big bagel bundle for $10.40. That's about $3.50 cheaper than the standard price. Piano Man is having a baby. That's right, 65-year-old Billy Joel and his 33-year-old girlfriend Alexis Roderick have confirmed that they are expecting a baby this summer. Initial reports have indicated that it is a baby girl, though they plan to keep any further details about the pregnancy secret until the child is born. If it is in fact a girl, it will be Joel's second daughter. His eldest, Alexa Ray Joel, is 29.
Well, the end of an era in late night television is just over a month away, but before David Letterman's final show on May 20th, quite a few big names will be joining him at his desk. George Clooney, Bill Murray, Jerry Seinfeld, Oprah, Tina Fey, and Ray Romano, among others, highlight the list for the Late Show's final guests. Letterman has been a late-night show host for 33 years. Nearly 22 of those years have been on CBS. He will be replaced by Stephen Colbert on September 8th.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you don't want to miss seeing what the Syracuse men's lacrosse team did last night. And the Syracuse Chiefs are finally coming home. I'll have your sports update next, right here on Citrus TV.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell start to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Trophy is staying in Syracuse. The heralded trophy is awarded to the team who wins the annual men's lacrosse matchup between the Syracuse Orange and the Hobart Statesmen. Last night marked the 101st matchup all time between the two teams, also senior night between the two. Dylan Donahue is a senior academically, a redshirt junior athletically. He had 3 goals in the game for the Orange. Redshirt junior Hakeem Leckie had 2 goals, including one seen right here. Syracuse led 12-0 at the half, 15-0 midway through the third quarter. We're going to see Donahue gets another one. Randy Stotts appears to be all healed up from an injury he had suffered a few games back. 4 goals and 2 assists for the senior Stotts. Domination for the Orange in an 18-5 win. Syracuse is off this weekend, but SU is the 3 seed in next weekend's ACC tournament. And on the diamond, the Syracuse softball team is playing a doubleheader against Niagara this afternoon. The Orange mercy ruled the Purple Eagles 11-0 on a Danielle Chitkowski walk-off grand slam. Game 2 is currently in the bottom of the third inning. The Orange up 7-0 and threatening with runners on second and third. And moving to the pros in baseball, Mets captain David Wright is back on the disabled list. The New York third baseman strained his right hamstring while stealing second base in the 8th inning of last night's win against the Phillies. Wright tried to play through the injury but decided to come out of the game 5 pitches later. A right hamstring injury also hampered David Wright in 2013 when he missed 7 weeks because he originally tried to play through the injury and made it worse. It's not yet known how long Wright will be out this time around. The Syracuse Chiefs are heading home after a 7-game road trip to open the season. The AAA affiliate of the Washington Nationals wrapped up the road trip with an 8-5 loss to the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs this morning. The loss gives the Chiefs a 3-4 record to start the year. Syracuse's home opener is tomorrow against the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. First pitch is scheduled for 2:05 at MBT Bank Stadium. Well, the Syracuse women's lacrosse team plays its final ACC regular season game of the year tomorrow. The Orange travels to Louisville to take on the 14th-ranked Cardinals tomorrow afternoon. Syracuse is 9-6 this season, but all 6 losses have come to teams currently ranked in the top 10 of the coaches' poll.
Well, Mike, a big day at NBT Bank Stadium tomorrow. Syracuse Chiefs, the big home opener. I know I'm very excited. With the game first pitch a little after 2 o'clock. You think you might check out the game?
I'm definitely going to go to the game. I actually interned with the Chiefs last year. They won the International League North Division title. First time they did that in more than a decade, and they're looking to continue that momentum into this year.
Great.
Okay, so ACC tournament coming up. How is the SU Lacks team going to do?
Well, they've lost 2 games, both to North Carolina and Notre Dame. They'll play one of those teams. North Carolina and Notre Dame play this weekend. Syracuse plays the loser of that, with SU being the 3 seed. They'll play the 2 seed. Syracuse has done well. Randy Stotts was out of the Notre Dame game, and for North Carolina, Syracuse got down early on the road. This one will be a neutral site game, so the Orange should fare a little bit better in that.
And Mike, coming off the Masters tournament this past weekend, it was a great one. Today's National Golf Day. Do you have any favorite golf memories or moments?
Well, you know what? I'm not a huge golfer when it comes to real golf, but I'll tell you, the mini golf course, there's one, Fairmount Glen Miniature Golf. That's the best golf place in Syracuse. You will find me there
That's where I shine too. That's where I shine too.
We'll head out sometime. The 3 of us after the show.
See you there.
Let's do it.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Well, we'll take one last look at the weather when Citrus TV returns. Stay with us.
teacher, let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
I think that Citrus TV is important because especially this year, Syracuse has been in the news so often, and we've often been there first to be able to cover that and really deliver it to the students.
Citrus TV News is for our campus and our students.
The great thing about Citrus is we allow students to tell their stories, and we get to listen to their concerns.
Citrus is important because we cover campus news in a way that no one else really does.
Citrus TV is the voice of Syracuse University, and it's something we're very proud of and a responsibility that we take very seriously.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Now let's head over to Monica Hammer for one final look at tomorrow's weather.
Tomorrow we are looking at a high of 70 degrees and mostly clear skies, and it'll be very similar to the day that we had today with winds at 11 miles per hour. People will definitely be out on the quad, hanging out again like they were today. And it's not quite that shorts weather yet, but Syracuse has definitely entered the spring season. Enjoy that nice day tomorrow because Friday some rain is expected. There won't be too much rain, probably less than an inch. And then we'll be seeing that sun returning over the weekend with temperatures in the 60s and some more rain on Monday.
Well, Monica, as we were talking about before with Michael, big crowd going to the Syracuse Chiefs game tomorrow. What's the weather going to look like for us at 2:05 p.m. first pitch?
It's going to be beautiful out tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies, a lot of sunshine, and temperatures hitting the 70s. So it'll be a really nice day for the game, and people will definitely have a great time.
Oh, that sounds great. And now, this weekend is one of the last weekends for many graduating seniors on campus. Will it be a time where they can go out and enjoy the weather together?
Yeah, definitely. We're looking at sun again over the weekend. Most that rain will be avoided because that's coming Friday. So temperatures in the 60s, not quite as warm as tomorrow, but it'll be nice.
Thanks a lot, Monica.
Thank you. Well, that's all the time we have tonight. Thanks for tuning in for Citrus TV. I'm Allie Bauman.
And I'm Will Gerhard. Have a great night, Syracuse.